Hi, Matt Cauz from CFL.ca, and the season is back. Off-season over, preseason mercifully gone. Now it's time for week one, and it's time for our week one CFL fantasy picks. But before we get to it, let's look at some key injuries, some key inactives. Starting at quarterback, Ricky Ray is out for the next 6 weeks at least. In Hamilton, you got a whole host of injuries. CJ Gable, Luke Tasker out. Finally in Edmonton, John White is out for the year. Shakir Bell is a guy to keep your eye on. This rookie could have a big season. Now, let's move to our CFL fantasy picks. Starting at the quarterback position, I love Mike Riley on the road in Alberta against Toronto. Remember, Mike Riley, 300 yards, 3 touchdowns combined, last time taking on the Toronto Argonauts. The Argos D is a little bit shaky. The running game is not going to be great for Edmonton. Look for a lot of yards from Mike Riley. Next, at running back, I like Anthony Allen. Watch for Saskatchewan to ease Darian Durant back into the game. And remember, going up against Winnipeg, worst defense in the CFL against the run. At receiver, I love S.J. Green going up against Ottawa. Remember, no more Duron Carter. Green is the #1 target. Green and Crompton had a really nice thing in the second half of last year. My flex player, I'm going with Eric Rogers. No more Maurice Price. And remember, Rogers had over 100 yards receiving in the Grey Cup. Moving over to defense, let's take Montreal. No offense, Ottawa, but you just brought in a bunch of flashy new wide receivers. And as everyone knows, whether it's receiver or slot back, you bring in new guys, and there's always going to be some communication issues with them and the quarterback. At kicker, I like Justin Medlock. Hamilton has got a lot of weapons. They move the ball. But in the preseason, we saw problems with them in the red zone. I see a lot of yards, but maybe not a lot of touchdowns for the Hamilton Ticats. Next up is our new position, the value pick player. Are you up against the cap and you need a player and you need good value? This is a guy that you might not expect to perform, but does. And for this week, I like Trevor Harris, the quarterback for the Toronto Argonauts, playing at home in Alberta. All right, snark aside, remember a couple things. Curtis Steele is out, which means Toronto will probably pass the ball even more. Toronto passed the ball more than any other team in 2014. I know Harris is green, but he's going to throw the ball a lot. Real football coaches might not care about garbage yards, but us in the fantasy world, we love garbage yards. So there are your week one CFL fantasy picks. Now, you might have questions or concerns. Of course you do. It's week one of the season. All you have to do is tweet us, mcauz56, or you can tweet us at CFL. Questions, concerns, recipes. We will do our best to answer all of your questions. And now you're set. You're ready for week one. Good luck.